that one can offer to me with love and devotion a flower, leaf. In this way he mentions vegetarian items. He never says offer me meat. So a bhakta or a devotee, he eats prasadam, which means the remnants of the offering to Krishna. So he offers Krishna very nice things of halava and rasgulla and sandesh and puri and so many kachoris, so many samosas, so many nice things. Neither do we find the necessity to slaughter the animal and eat the flesh. We don't find need for that. Although we have been ourselves brought up in such a culture, we find after taking to this process that we lose our taste for these things. We no longer require, in fact we even shun it. If someone should offer something with meat, we will reject it immediately.
We do not take meals in the airplane. We take our meals with us. Or we pay for that, first class.
Yes.
But still we do not. They offer and give us some fruit, that's all.
Coming here on Air India, the stewardess was very surprised why we weren't, they had so much and nice elaborate meals prepared, but we don't take these things.
Because the body is born in America, therefore he is thinking America. The body is born in India, therefore he is thinking India. The body is born in Hindu family, therefore he is thinking Hindu. So this Krishna consciousness movement means we are trying to eradicate this conception of life, bodily conception of life. An animal, he is also thinking, I am dog, I am cat, I am cow, I am ass, on account of this bodily concept of life. And if we, human beings, we also remain in that bodily concept of life, then we are no better than the animals. So if we remain animals, there cannot be any peace. You bring a dozens of dogs, and if you keep them, they cannot be improved. They will remain as animals. They have no capacity. And if you ask them to live peacefully, it is not possible, because they are animals. Similarly, if we human beings, although we are not animals, but we are not being educated as human beings, and therefore we remain as animals, then how there can be any peace? The animal eats, we eat. This animal sleeps, we sleep. The animal has sex life, we have got sex life. The animal defends, we also defend. So if we remain engaged only on the principles of four demands of body, then we remain animals. Our extra education requires that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, and there is necessity of the soul. If we don't come to this platform, then we remain animals. This Krishna consciousness movement means we are trying to bring human beings to the platform of spiritual consciousness or real human being.
striving for peace in the world? Is it one of your goals?
Yes. Everyone is trying for peace in the world. I have already referred to the United Nations organization. They are also trying peace of the world. But one must know the right way how to bring peace in the world.
Swamiji, as I know, this movement has a great faith in Bhagavad Gita, and Gita is the result of the war. How do you explain it?
The war is also necessary. When there are demons, they should be punished. But we must know who is demon and who is not demon. Just like any good state, just like our Indian state, accepting that we attain our independence by Mahatma Gandhi's non-violent movement. But do you think that India is keeping non-violent? Why there is soldier, why there is police? So that is also necessary.
Where did the movement start?
This movement is already there since Krishna appeared upon this earth about 5,000 years ago. And before that also the movement was there. But in the modern history, the movement is since 5,000 years.
What country?
Yes, again country. It is no question of country. It is in the world. How we are, that is, our bodily concept are so strong that whatever we think about country, about sect, about community. This is our disease. Nobody is interested in the spiritual life. Therefore, no customer is coming. We go to sell our goods there.
Have you had a significant impact on the American society?
Is that?
What is that? Have you had a significant impact on the American society? The values you preach, have they influenced Americans to a certain degree?
Oh yes. You can go in America, any country, any city, and everyone will know Hare Krishna. We're getting...
That's not what I mean. What I mean is, have Americans started to be less violent, for instance? Or have they started to be less egoistical? Or have they started to be less...
Well, not unless they follow our movement. But those who have followed our movement, recently there was one study that was published by a very eminent sociologist in America from the University of California, the Union Theological Center. And he stated in that book that the members of this movement, formerly they were drug-addicted hippies, and now they have become servants of Krishna and humanity, loving servants. So he has given proof through intensive interviews that one who joins this movement, he dramatically his life becomes changed.
He is a big professor, and his books are being sold in higher circle. Professor Judah. And he has studied this movement for 5 years. And you have got that book?
Yes.
So they are appreciating. Appreciation has begun. Formerly they thought it is another tradition of hippie movement. But now they realize it is not culture. He has given the name of the book, Hare Krishna and Counter Culture. He is selling at the cost of $12. Still all high class, educated class are purchasing.
But have you any program for the common
common people?
Yes, we are opening centers so that any common man, from any caste, any creed, any nation, they can come and join. Well done.
My friend Prabhupada, I would like to know is whether you are doing some social work for the
This is best social works. We are making animal into man. Already I began this. That because they are not educated how to become human being, so they remain animal. So this is best social work, that we are bringing animal, two-legged animals to real human beings. If a human being is not properly educated, he remains an animal. So, this is the proper education. Therefore, we are bringing animals to human beings.
Has your movement ever influenced any particular activities or movement in a particular country?
When you are many in number, then we shall take politics also in hand. First of all, let there be perfect man. If there is no perfect man, the government will be imperfect. If there is perfect man, the government will be perfect.
Do you think, Swamiji, that man can become perfect?
Oh, yes. That is the chance of a human being. Therefore, in the human society, there is school, college, education, culture. Not in the animal society. Because they can be made into perfect, not the animals. So if they are denied proper education, that is the greatest harm. They got the opportunity and the authorities are not giving them the opportunity.
No, but do you mean the perfectness is to become the God or to become the man?
Right.
Then I want
You cannot become God.
what perfectness means?
Perfect means to become godly.
Can you indulge directly into politics?
Hmm?
Can you be indulged directly in politics?
China. Krishna was in politics. So he instructed Arjuna to fight. This is politics for the good cause. When Arjuna denied that Krishna, I am not willing to kill the other side, my brothers and my uncles. He chastised him. Kutaste kasmalamidam visamai samavas. How you are talking like non-Aryan? What is this nonsense? He wisdom, kind of. Kutaste kasmalamidam visamai samavas. Anajajustam akirti karavajan. Anarja, here said Anarja. Aryan means advanced. Anarya means
Chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, Text 2. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Jushtam Asvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Person, Bhagavan, said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive values of life. They do not lead to higher planets, but to infamy." Purport. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. Absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding. namely Brahman, or the impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this conception of the Absolute Truth is explained thus: Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam bhaveti paramatmeti bhavaniti shabdyate. The Absolute Truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the Absolute Truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of the Absolute Truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 2nd Chapter, 11th Verse. These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun's surface, and the sun planet itself. One who understands the sunshine only is the preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature, may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the Absolute Truth. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to knowledge of the Paramatma feature of the Absolute Truth. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal features of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Therefore, the Bhaktas, or the Transcendentalists, who have realized the Bhagavan feature of the Absolute Truth, are the topmost Transcendentalists. Although all students who are engaged in the study of the Absolute Truth are engaged in the same subject matter. The sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another, and yet the students of the three different phases are not in the same category. The Sanskrit word Bhagavan is explained by the great authority Parasara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva. The Supreme Personality, who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation, is called Bhagavan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached, but no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayan, can possess opulencies as fully as Krishna. Therefore it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord, or Bhagavan, known as Govinda, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karna Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme, because none can excel him. He is the supreme person, and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord Govinda, and the cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita, 5th chapter, 1st verse. In the Bhagavatam also there is a list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna is described as the original Personality of Godhead, from whom many incarnations and personalities of Godhead expand. Ete Changsha Kala Pungsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridajanti Juge Juge. All the lists of the incarnations of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of the plenary expansions of the Supreme Godhead, but Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 3rd chapter, 28th verse. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, the source of both the Supersoul and the impersonal Brahman. In the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsmen is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the word kutas, where from. Such unmanly sentiments were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. Persons who are led by the material conception of life do not know that the aim of life is realization of the absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagavan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world, and therefore they do not know what liberation is. Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Such deviation from duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassion of Arjuna for his kinsmen.
So this movement is to make the people area.
Blacks in the United States, or the
What
Indians
is
in the
Kshatriya?
United States.
Kshatriya means one who gives protection from being hurt. Chat means hurting. So suppose if I unnecessarily hurt you, then it is the duty of the government to give you protection. So unless I am also punished by violence, he cannot give you protection. So this is also necessary. Therefore, in the society there must be Kshatriya. The Brahmanas should be learned, they should give instruction, advice. The Kshatriyas should give protection. The Vaishyas should produce economic development, and the rest they should assist Shudras. That's all. This is the program of Aryan society.
Indian community have always thought that light comes from many lamps. But you are preaching that
Because Indian culture has always taught that light comes from many lamps.
But your preaching consists only from the Gita.
Yes, that is the supreme light. There are degrees of light. There is sunlight and there is this light. You cannot compare this light with the sunlight. Light comes from everywhere. But that does not mean the sunlight and this light is the same.
No, when
First of all, you understand this. You have question about the light. First of all, you understand there are degrees of light. You cannot say this light and the sunlight is the same.
By this you mean that those who adapt to the life by the teachings coming from the Quran or from the Bible is
That is your
lesser life.
that is your business to study. But we give you the idea that light comes from everywhere. There is one glow one. That light also light. And the sunlight is also light. You cannot think that the glow one's light and the sunlight is the same. Now it is your business to see which is glow one light and which is sunlight. That is your business.
It has been allegedly argued, particularly in third world countries, that your movement is under the wing of a certain imperialist countries.
So that there is some allegation that our movement is connected with certain imperialist countries.
Let them say all nonsense, what can I say? Every nonsense will speak something nonsense. How can I check it? There are so many nonsenses, therefore we are trying to make all this nonsense into human being. That is our problem. So long he is on nonsense, he will go on speaking nonsense. What can I do?
Swamiji, one thing I want to know, this slok, from where you have quoted this slok? This slok...
Yes, it is in the 3rd chapter of 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Have you got all the Bhagavatas? 12 canto?
We don't have it.
So you can note it.